Good evening to you all. How are you doing? I hope you are well. What I understand is that you are specially selected VIPs, right?
The last one.
As it says 40 years, it sounds very long, isn't it? But actually, I don't feel it such a long time.
And you don't like it?
Because of the fact, I was always involved in very interesting project. So I didn't feel such a long period of time in working for the company. But I joined the company in 1978. 1978, we didn't have compact disc, so only analog. It's a completely different time. A lot of people were enjoying music by tuner. Anybody still use the FM tuner? Because in that time, a lot of people listen radio and get new music from the radio. That's the way. And they went to the shop and bought LPs. It's a completely different way of enjoying music, I have to say. And as you most probably know, Marantz was analog specialist. And we are doing very well with amplifier, tuner, cassette deck, turntable. We had everything. Then 80s came. Philips and Sony came up with compact disc. And Philips bought Marantz. So we were part of Philips then. Then it was a really interesting period, I have to say, because many Japanese, they didn't know English at all. So I had to be there to help both Philips and Sony people. A lot of nice discussion between Philips and Sony people. But you know Philips Dutch people, how they are. They are very straight. Yeah, so black and white, and they tell everything on your face. Japanese, completely opposite, right? So it was really a shock, culture shock for both of them, I have to say. Yeah. But some interesting discussion we had. Japanese, they didn't want a compact disc. They wanted digital, but LP size, 30 centimeter. Do you know why? Their argument to Philips was, look, shop, they have to stock LP and the same title on a compact disc. It's a huge investment. And if you have to ask shop to get display for the compact disc, which is a completely different size than today's LP, it's again another huge investment. The Japanese said, but if we keep it on LP size, shop don't have to change anything. Only thing is they have to stock those in digital. That was the Japanese argument. Philips said, no way, Dutch, boom, 11 centimeter disc, not bigger, basta. That was the way Philips communicated. Then, president of Sony, in that time, Mr. Oga. Mr. Oga was not just a businessman, but he was an opera singer. And he, of course, knew a lot about classical music. And then all of a sudden he stood up and said, gentlemen, we have a problem. Philips management said, what's the problem? We have no problem. Then Oga said, look, if you want Beethoven 9th Symphony on one disc, 11 centimeter is not big enough. They were all shocked because they didn't think about those things. And then this argument was such a strong, so even Philips they accepted. That's where this 5.25-inch CD size was defined, just to put Beethoven Ninth Symphony. So it was a lot of those very interesting discussion between Japanese and Philips. And I was there to enjoy those discussions and learned so much about it as well. This evening, I'm not going to just talk. I'm going to play some music in between so that I don't bore you. Let's see. I'm going to play the one track, which is the percussion with a lot of bottom end, low frequency. So you will have fair idea about this room, okay? As you heard it, slightly exaggerated low frequency, yeah. But otherwise it's not too bad, I have to say. And then those percussions moving around, you feel it. So, and it is floating in the air, obviously. And that's very important. This one is just a voice, but again, how this voice is floating, pay attention, okay? Very interesting. Its voice is moving around. See, again, it's all how the original recording was done. See, when people ask me about best sound, and I'm always telling Marantz is not the best sound. Very simple, because one person to the other, everything for the life. you got all different taste, aren't you? So it is no point arguing about what's the best sound is. So I'm always saying, okay, we leave that up to you. But something like this, proper sound stage or movement of those voices and so on, that has to come out properly. That's where we pay a lot of attention to. Because musicians, recording engineers, they pay so much attention to those details. So it is our job to let it come out as they intended to. That's why we pay so many attention on every detail, especially on the sound stage. So this one, beginning of the music, they have birds singing in the forest. Yeah? Just listen to it. You understood what I meant. So they captured the sound, the forest, and then they put the music on top of it. That's, of course, it's a recording engineer's idea. But again, if this, you don't feel it at all, and if this is just coming from the speakers, it is not the same joy you can have. That's why I say, if the recording been done in such a way, we have to make sure playback system, electronics, and the speaker should be able to do that. Honestly speaking, it is not easy. So I'm going to play one classical piece which got a lot of dynamics. And you have a width, you have a depth, and then you have the height. Okay? Oh, sorry. precise location of all the different musicians.
Triangle.
Exactly. Yeah, you see that real sound stage. You have a width, you have the depth, and you have the height. And that's the way it should be. Many people who didn't experience those things by real stereo, because this is real stereo. A lot of people think stereo is just left and right, two channel, but it is not at all the same. Yeah, because like a lot of people today, they listen music through the headphones with the handies. Right? Do you think you're getting stereo? Recordings I'm talking about is designed to listen by pair of speakers, not by the headphones. Difference between, you have of course right and left speakers. With speaker, right one, it will reach both of your ears, left and right ears. Same with left speakers, or right speakers, reach both ears. With the headphone, never. If you stick one earpiece of the right one, that's only right sound you're going to hear. So there is no crosstalk. That's the reason why it's always sounding on the back of your head. Isn't it, when you listen with the headphones? So that's why you don't get the real stereo. Yeah. Because I'm now standing on your left, then I go move to your right, and you know it, I'm moving and talking. How do you know where I am? Because if I'm standing here on your right ear capture my voice faster than your left ear because of the difference in distance. And that your computer brain calculated and tell you where this voice is coming from. And that thing is used for stereo. That's the way original stereo was designed. And so we try to respect this. That's also the reason why we pay so much attention to it. I was talking about the time of changeover from analog to compact disc and digital. Philips had amazing technology on the digital. And Marantz, we didn't know anything about digital, including myself. I didn't know anything about the digital audio at all. And I have to say I was very lucky because become part of the Philips organization. I could access to every information available and meet people and everything. So I learned so much. And as you can easily imagine, for Marantz was ideal situation. Marantz was a purely analog company. And then all of a sudden, one day to next, we got all those digital technology available for you for free. Only thing we have to absorb it. Yeah. We were like a sponge. Yeah. They're taking everything from Philips. And myself included, we learned so much. And today, when you ask about Marantz, many people answer, oh, that compact disc specialist. They never say amplifier specialist anymore. They say compact disc specialist. Because of the fact we combined our strength, which was analog, and then Philips digital knowledge, both together. Of course, we made very good sounding CD players. See, that was the time founder of the company, Sobi Marantz. He called me from the United States and said, Ken, I have done everything possible with LP and tube. So now it's your turn to do something with compact disc and digital. But I answered, it is not fair because analog was already perfected in the quality-wise. Digital was just starting. And we knew from day one original compact disc specification in that time was not really in such a level. It was good enough for average people, yeah, but not on the audiophile level. Honestly speaking, I never thought one day we're going to get such a quality like today. That was my thinking as well. I was wrong because we found, we fought very hard to get compact disc format and developed it in such a level. Like today, you get amazing quality out of it. Yeah. Okay, there are high resolution audio available today, like 192K, 24-bit, compared to 44.1, 16-bit. Of course, high resolution, it's easier to get higher quality. But this high resolution does not guarantee you anything. Like today, a lot of people say, oh, I want 192K, 24-bit. Problem, this is my point of view. Problem is, if we have to make compact disc, yeah, compact disc is 44.1 kilohertz. That means 44,100. Yeah? So now you have original recording, 192K. Yeah. So 192,000. Yeah. Try to make 44,100 from 192,000. Yeah. Just try to calculate. You are good in mathematics. No way. Because 192K is multiplication, 4 times multiplied over 48, not 44.1. So, a lot of people say, okay, we use sample rate converter. Sounding very nice. And then they say, okay, we make rounding. Again, beautiful word. But for me, it's all error. So, when we did this KI Ruby player, we said, we cannot allow those errors. So what we're going to do, we're going to put, instead of 1 clock, we decided to put 2 clocks. One for, like compact disc, 44.1 based. Yeah, so 44.1, double is 88.2, and then 4 times 176. In such a way, yeah, we use 1 clock for this. And then we put second clock for 48 based. 48, 96, 192. So machine, when you feed PCM music, first thing what this machine do, find it out which sampling frequency this music is. And then decide which clock to use. Such a way we make proper playback of every PCM. And then, as you most probably know, we've been always fan of DSD, 1-bit system. So we convert those PCM music inside of this machine from those PCM to 1-bit. And we do very high quality 1-bit. Super Audio CD quality. So we convert everything to the high quality Super Audio. Super Audio CD, maybe some of you know, was 1-bit but 2.8 meg. This 2.8 meg was 64 times 44.1. Yeah? Instead of 64 times, we decided to do 256 times. So this is quite a machine. Yeah? It's convert it in such a way. So, but whole idea behind is to get best music possible out from audio digital. If we can keep analog, original. Of course, it's easy, but unfortunately, we cannot keep everything in analog because not like LP, like a tape. After 10 times, then its all quality is degrading. That's the reason why we use digital. Once it is digitalized, yeah, you can keep it in the disk, you can keep it in the, whatever, and then it stays forever.
But DSD is analog signal.
Pardon?
DSD is analog signal.
Yes, that's what
Yeah,
we
everybody
say.
digitalized.
Yeah, see, because you see, that's the reason why instead of 2.8 NDEC, we said, yeah, 4 times more, 256 times oversampled. In such a way, then it's getting really closer and closer to real analog. Okay, I'm going to play one. This is piano. Recorded it in very early 70s, analog, and then transfer to DSD. the pedals.
Yeah.
When they did this recording, it was in Germany. Now, luckily, I was there. It was MPS recording, and it was Bruno Schur, his personal recording studio near Baden-Baden, Germany. Oscar Peterson, I don't know if you know it, his finger is almost as wide as key of the piano. And he's playing like this. It's just amazing, you're watching it. It's just crazy. But he's, of course, incredible pianist. But it was a really amazing experience I had. And such a nice recording. As I said, it's analog. Luckily, we have a digital technology today to be able to keep it in such a highest possible quality. Thanks to the digital, I have to say. Okay. Many people, they prefer analog. So am I. But the problem is with analog. We can keep it. Even master tape, original master tape, life is 40, 50 years. Not more. That's why. So everything is digital today. And thanks to it. And as I mentioned, we do a lot of digital things inside this tiny machine. And we tried as much as we can to keep it original music as they are, not disturbing the sound characteristic recording engine and the musician created. And this process of putting everything into DSD and then converting that to the analog, this is patent pending, and this is only Marantz we have. And we started this digital processing in the 90s. So we kept continuing working on it, and I'm very happy to go to this level now. We reached a certain level, and I believe this is the right way of doing it. So this KI Ruby SSD player and the USB DAC, you can enjoy the music on any form, on the digital. You can feed everything. Another thing happening in the recording is there are many amazing soundtrack movies. In the past, soundtrack was only good on every cinema. But nowadays, they do quite amazing track down to 2 channel. Have you seen this film, August Rush? It's an amazing film. It's a boy, very talented musician, but it goes back to his parents' story. It's a very nice one. But like you had it, it's really dynamic. And a really nice sound stage, I have to say. And a mixture of the classical and modern music. And they have done it very well, I have to say. One more soundtrack. I'm sure this one you know it. American Beauty. Amazing, I have to say. Thomas Newman made the music. He has made so many of wonderful soundtrack. And as I said, nowadays those soundtracks are really fantastic quality. A lot of dynamics. Then of course, this amplifier, again, it's quite small amplifier, but able to handle those dynamics. You remember we had PM10. A few years ago we introduced it. This amplifier got the same power. At 8 ohm, 200. 4 ohm, 400. So despite the fact that it is a tiny amplifier, able to drive all the speakers. Difference between 10 and this one. 10 got everything in the balance. So if people, some audiophiles, they like balance. So then, yes, they can take 10. But problem is, speakers. As you all know, you got only plus and minus on speakers. So speaker is not balanced. So somewhere you have to convert from balance to single-ended. And I personally didn't like that at all. So that's also the reason why I was always against balance. Only way we're going to do balance, like we did it in the PM10, we do 2 amplifier, 1 for the plus, 1 for minus. So actually 4 amplifier inside to do proper balanced driving the speaker. That's what we did. But in this case, we said, we're going to make it very clean, very simple, straightforward. From input to output, straightforward, single-ended. So that's what I did with this amplifier. That's the reason why we are able to make it smaller, but keeping the same power as 10. That's what you're getting. Unfortunately, I have to go back to the stadium for the radio interview. So I'm going to play the one music for the last. And this one is 1958 recording. And 1958, it's of course from LP. So I have very high quality analog system, LP, with moving coil. I recorded that in digital. That's what you're going to hear. So in the beginning, you hear some clicks, but pay attention to the voice, how nice this voice is.
I went down to St. James Infirmary, saw my baby there. She was stretched out on a long white table, so cold, so sweet, so fair. Let her go, God bless her, wherever she may be. She can search this wide world over, but you'll never find a sweet man like me. Bragging. When I die, bury me in straight-laced shoes and a box-back suit, double-breasted. Put a $20 gold piece on my watch chain. Yes, so the boys will know that I died standing pat.
60 years old. Yeah. What did we do on the last 60 years? When you hear like this, yeah, it's unbelievable. But that's what music gives, you see? Yeah. Doesn't matter how old that is. If it's so emotional and touch you so strongly. That's also the reason why this 40 years for me was very short. I always enjoyed working with it. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed a little bit. Thank you.